Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, we are going to be exploring the mystery of the Donkey Lady. That's right, the Donkey Lady is one of the more interesting sort of secrets in Red Dead Redemption 2, and it has a interesting background and backstory, and something really weird happened in my game. So in case you guys are wondering where the Donkey Lady is, it's just south of Armadillo. And it's in this little abandoned rundown town here, and sort of towards the northeastern side of that town, you'll find something pretty grotesque. It looks like it's either a well or something with a wheel and a turning mechanism on there, and you can see that what looks to be a human is attached to one of the wooden big dowels right there. But upon examining the face, you can see that it looks nothing like a human. In fact, it looks more so like a donkey. And if you actually examine the site, John will actually say this. What was this poor thing? Who would do such a thing to any creature? And John's right. You know, this is pretty horrific. The fact that any individual like this would be tied up and forced to just walk around in a circle. I don't know what this would be generating or creating. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments down below. But either way, it's pretty gruesome. The fact that whoever this person was clearly did not survive, if that wasn't obvious enough. So you can see whoever this is, they sort of have like bones with horseshoes going through them, and that's what's kind of like wrapped to the wooden dowel, and that's what their arm is sort of held in place with. And it's just really, really grotesque. And there isn't anything else around the rest of this site that gives us any more information on what is going on here. I mean, the entire facility is abandoned. There are skeletons everywhere. There are broken down shacks everywhere. There's just absolutely nothing here that tells us really what's going on. In fact, the only thing we can gather from this is the name of the actual place, which is called Two Crows. But once again, I'm not exactly too sure what that exactly means. Now, something kind of weird happened. When I actually returned to the Donkey Lady, I ended up fighting off, I think, some Del Lobo gang members. And as I returned, I came to the well, and the Donkey Lady was off the little like wooden pole, wooden dowel thing. So I'm not sure if this is supposed to happen after you visit for a first time, but I tried to interact with the Donkey Lady the first time, and I wasn't able to move the body or cut her down or set her free or anything along those lines. So I found this to be incredibly strange. I don't know why this is the case, and even using something like dynamite or fire bottles has absolutely no effect on the Donkey Lady either. Now, we can actually get a little bit of information on what's going on here in one of the newspaper articles. This is actually in the Blackwater Ledger number 70, and it's a article called An Odd Discovery. Scientists express puzzlement. And it says, unusual interest is manifesting by geological students over the recent discovery of a skeleton that appears to be partially human and also equine. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. A prominent paleontologist from Yale has been summoned to Big Valley to investigate the site that contains bones and ancient debris that have confounded locals. The site just south of Armadillo contains the remains of a woman and also the head of a common donkey, leaving experts to wonder if they come from one beast or if an animal attacked and dismembered both a woman and her donkey and dragged the sections elsewhere. So that is an interesting newspaper article. And unfortunately, these paleontologists from Yale don't really have an explanation either. They're sort of torn on what's happened here. Was this a man-made mutant creation, or was this done by an animal attack in nature? Again, they're really confused, and I think they're just as confused as everyone else. Now, what's really strange is when I returned to the Donkey Lady for a third time, this time there was actually an X on the map. So I don't know if this is a progressive Easter egg where over time you're able to do more things. If that's the case, I probably should have waited this out at least a couple of days longer to see what would happen. But what next shocked me so much that I just wasn't too sure what to do. I actually had the option to pick up the donkey lady. And I'm almost convinced this is a glitch because you can see there's like floating things coming out of the back. It almost looks like hair or a tail. So it's almost like this object was never meant to be picked up. It kind of reminds me of that body on the pagan ritual site. Like you have the option to pick it up, but it's so weird looking, and because there's only half a torso, you're almost holding on to it with nothing. And the same thing can sort of happen here. Like, I'm sure Rockstar doesn't want to have that like floating tail up in the air that is sort of there if you actually bring this lady on the back of your horse or you hog tie her, etc. So naturally, I wanted to see what would happen if I brought the donkey lady to a town like Armadillo. How would the people react and what would they do? Well, it looks like the people of Armadillo are pretty hardened to this stuff, especially with like the cholera plague. So they are certainly used to weird things like this happening. I mean, we see them burning bodies at Coots Chapel. So I figured bringing the donkey lady body to them wouldn't freak them out too much, and that actually turned out to be the case. Now, some people did end up running away, but for the most part, people were either too sick to care or they were so used to weird things like this that they didn't really get bothered by it at all. I was completely shocked by this. The fact that I was able to take this donkey lady, albeit she was dead, clearly we weren't going to resurrect her, into the town of Armadillo, and no one really seemed to care. It was one of the more interesting things I had ever tried, bringing an individual from one location to another spot to another. So I thought that this was so weird, I actually loaded up another save because I wanted to see if this would happen again. And sure enough, when I loaded up another save, we saw the exact same thing. If you go to this location, the donkey lady will be there. She will be attached to that wooden well dowel thingy. And then if you actually revisit for a second time, you'll actually notice that she has fallen off once again. Now, this is why I think what I did earlier might have been a glitch, because this time when I visited the donkey lady, I was unable to pick her up. So I don't know if I did something weird with the dynamite or the fire bottle, or if there was some sequence that I did to be able to pick it up. Maybe it is a date thing, like you have to wait a certain amount of time before you can pick up the donkey lady, but that right there is kind of interesting. Now, at the beginning of this video, I said there was an interesting backstory to the donkey lady, and that actually comes from the first Red Dead Redemption game. So in Red Dead Redemption, there was actually a glitch where the game would spawn an NPC with the AI and face of a donkey. And this became one of the most popular Red Dead Redemption videos on YouTube. And apparently Rockstar actually saw this, thus immortalizing it in Red Dead Redemption 2 as an Easter egg, as a literal donkey lady. So a funny glitch in Red Dead Redemption became one of the more interesting Easter eggs in Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, another thing I found to be very weird about the donkey lady is Arthur can actually draw her in his journal. And as you know, Arthur is not supposed to be able to go to New Austin. He says, "What the hell was this poor thing?" in his journal, which is a little bit different to what John says. So again, I think this further proves that Arthur was supposed to be in New Austin, and he even has a specific reaction. Now, unfortunately, we're unable to see that in this video, but Arthur's reaction towards the donkey lady suggests that in-universe, she may not have been human and could in fact have been a supernatural being. So I'm telling you guys, this story just keeps getting weirder and weirder and weirder. And if you can add anything to this story, to this saga, please let us know in the comments down below. Why is this donkey lady here? Was she being used for some type of manual labor? Or is this just a cruel and unusual punishment for maybe some sort of supernatural being? I mean, if that's the reaction Arthur has, it wouldn't be impossible to ultimately believe something like that. And in case you're not interested in the backstory of this donkey lady at all, it is one of the point of interest in games, so you would need to get this in order to achieve 100% completion. So it does have a unique and interesting backstory, but at the end of the day, if you want to get 100%, it's required to visit. But anyways, that's all the information that I've got for you guys in this video today. that right there is the mystery of the donkey lady in Red Dead Redemption 2. As always, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Let me know what you think and more. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily Red Dead Redemption 2 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.